over the rest of the warm-up, number 2, they give you a slope and a coordinate on the line. And again, they want us to write the equation of a line. An equation of a line, again, is in slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. M is your slope, b is your y-intercept. Y-intercept, your x, is 0. Take a look, you guys. They already give you the slope and the y-intercept. This is going to be really easy. Because they already give us our y-intercept, we're just going to substitute the values in for our m, our slope, and our b, our y-intercept. When we do that, we get our answer. Y equals 4/7 x plus 2. Don't forget, slope has to be written as a ratio in simplest form. Let's move on to 3. Look at 3. They give you a slope of 4, and they give you a coordinate, -2, 7. Taking a look at that, I'm going to set up a proportion this time, just like I did on number 1. And I'm going to solve my proportion. How do I solve a proportion? That's right, cross products or cross multiply. So when I do that, I'm going to multiply 4 times the quantity x plus 2 and 1 times the quantity y minus 7. Now I have to distribute my 4 to the x plus 2. And finally I have to isolate y, get y by itself, solve for y. To get my final answer, add 7 to both sides. Y equals 4x plus 15. 4 is my slope, 15 is my y-intercept. Is this proportional? No, it's not. It would be proportional if it was y equals 4x. How are these two equations related? Well, my equation of the line I wrote is translated 15 units up from the proportional equation. Let's move on to 4. 4, we're given a slope and a coordinate on our line. Is our coordinate our y-intercept? No, unfortunately it's not. So again, let's use our formula for slope. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and substitute in the values. Sometimes it helps to label x and y. Then I'm going to put 1 into my denominator so then I can do cross products to solve my proportion. And I'll have y plus 2 times the quantity of 1 is just y plus 2. And -3 times the quantity x minus 2. I'm going to distribute that -3. I need to get y isolated, so I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. When I subtract 2, I only subtract it from the 6 because they're like terms. Y equals -3x plus 4. How do we do on that side? Pretty good? I hope so. Let's flip over our page and let's take a look at 5. 5 says line Q is parallel to line R. The equation for line Q is 1/8 y equals x. Oh goodness! 1/8 y equals x. You guys, I can't tell the slope unless it's solved for y. So let's take a look at line Q. Line Q, they're saying is 1/8 y equals x. I know to be able to tell the slope and y-intercept of a line, I need to solve for y. Y is being multiplied by 1/8. What's the opposite of multiplying by 1/8? Dividing by 1/8. How do you divide your fractions? Multiply by the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 1/8 is 8. I'm going to multiply to both sides to keep my equation balanced to end up with y equals 8x. I know that line Q and line R are parallel. Hey, what do you know about parallel lines? That's right, parallel lines have the same slope. So I know that my new line that they're asking us about, line R, has a slope of 8. It's an increasing line. It's a positive slope. And intersects the coordinate 0, -6. Sorry about the formatting, that on the warm-up it got cut off a little bit. Is this your y-intercept when x is 0? Gee golly, it is, you guys. So let's just look at the equation for a line, slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And let's substitute in the values. Y equals, what's your slope? 8. What's your y-intercept? -6. Ta-da! Pretty easy. Just remember, when they give you an equation of a line, they need to have it in y equals so you can tell what the slope is. Moving on to 6, very similarly, they tell you what line z is, but they do not tell you the equation in slope-intercept form. So rewrite it in slope-intercept form, y equals -7/2 x. Slope must be written as a ratio. I know line W then has a slope of -7/2, intersects the point -2, 4, and xy. I'm going to use the equation for slope to set up my proportion. I'm going to solve my proportion. -7 times the quantity -2 minus x equals 2 times the quantity 4 minus y. I'm going to distribute my -7 on the left and my 2 on the right. I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides to end up with 6 plus 7x equals -2y. I need to get my y by itself, so I'm going to divide every term by -2. When I do that, and it simplifies, y equals -7 over 2x minus 3. Let's take a look. Number 7, what's the general form for any proportional linear equation? Y equals mx, where m is your slope and your constant proportionality. Number 8, what is the general equation for any non-proportional linear equation? Y equals mx plus b. We call this slope-intercept form. M is your slope and b is your y-intercept. How are these two equations related? Well, slope-intercept form is equal to y equals mx when b is 0. And slope-intercept form is just a translation. Remember, translation is a slide. A translation of y equals mx, a vertical b amount. It's a translation of the other. You're going to do great on your test. Please ask each other any questions you have, and I will see you when I get back. Thanks, guys. Bye.